Hey, welcome back to another edition of Getting into G Suite. I'm Mike Vanderpool with Valley Apps, and I'm here today to talk a little bit about Google Groups. Now, what are Google Groups? Google Groups are a lot of things, but today we're going to focus on an email list or a distribution list. And what I mean by that is in this example. So in Valley Apps, we have support at valleyapps.com. By the way, great time to mention if you're one of our clients and you need help, best way to get us is to email support at Valley Apps. Why? Because it goes to multiple people. So we have 5 people in that group, including me. So anytime anyone emails that support at, whether it's our clients or anyone out on the internet, it doesn't matter, external people emailing in, that they can email one address and it'll go to all 5 of us. Now, whoever has the bandwidth at the moment will jump on that and cover it. So that's an example of an email list or a Google group. Today, what we're going to do is to show you a very easy way to set that up. Now, it comes with a disclaimer. Only a few people in your domain can set up groups. You need to provide us with a list of that, or you, if you're a Google admin, you can go in and allow these folks through the back end and set them up and enable them as group admins. Now, where that comes to play is when I set up these groups, you'll see we go into the group area, you'll notice a button up top, and well, here, let me just show you. So in order to get there, I hit tic-tac-toe button, I hit groups, or I could go to groups.google.com, and you're going to see here my groups, right? So everyone has this ability to have groups and see groups, but not everyone has create a group. And if they do, it would be a personal group. It would not be a group for your domain. So once again, we would either need a list of those people, or you can enable them through your admin, if you have a Google admin, to enable those folks to be group admins where they can set up groups for your domain. So give us a list and we'll get them set up. So in the meantime, hit the create the group button. So what we're going to do here is we're going to name it Blue. Right. So anyone who emails blue@mikevanderpool.com, and we'll talk about whether it's just being able for folks internal to email it or people on the external in. So in my example of support@valleyapps.com, we obviously want external people to be able to post to this group or to send email to this email. So we got to make some adjustments down below in a minute. But we can also have groups, like we have a group called Dragon, and that's one of our dev groups. Internal, has nothing to do with external. It's internal projects, and just there's no need for anyone to know about that email address unless you're inside the organization. We also have an executive at valleyapps.com where it's an internal group, but it doesn't have visibility to everyone else in our domain because it's just simply for the 3 of us executives. All right, so you can put down a group description. Again, we do this sometimes internally, just so when people are browsing groups, they know what it is, especially if it's an open group to your domain for people to join. So group type, this is what I was talking about, email list. This is probably going to be a majority of what you need, but just know there's web forms, Q&A, collaborative inbox. We're going to save that a little bit for downstream for more of our advanced tutorials. This is simply going to teach you how to set up a group or an email list of members. All right, and in this case, blue@mikevanderpool.com will have members. All right, so from here, group visibility, all organizational members, right? All members of the group. So basically what that means is we're allowing this group to be seen by anyone inside of your domain. If we say all organizational members. So anyone can go to this area, groups, and prior to going to setting up this group, you saw that would list out, there was a button that said my groups. If they search for a group or they go to my groups or they look for a group, they'll be able to see it. So for example, in my example of the executives at Valley Apps, we have an executive group. I don't want everyone to see that. So I just selected all members of the group. So the only people that group's going to appear in their groups are the executives, so just the 3 of us. Now, all organization members, of course, with support at, to me, it doesn't really matter. Whoever wants to join. We also have one about picnics that anybody can join, but that's neither here nor there. So we'll leave this one just for sake of argument to all organizationals. All right, view topics, select groups of users, manage users. So again, this is just saying who can view these topics, right? You can check them on and off. I usually leave those as default, and I recommend you do as well. Posting is the big one we want to talk about. This is the differentiator between allowing people inside your domain that have to have an email address that ends in your domain to email that group, else it will bounce. If you want people external, as in my case with support@valleyapps.com, I definitely want external domains to be able to email into me. I need to collect anyone on the web, right? So post anyone on the web. All right, so got that? If you want it to be external, think of this, support at, we need everyone, anyone. But if it was Dragon at, not everyone needs to be able to post that, right? So just anyone on the web is fine if you want it external. Now, join the group. Select who can join, right? So right now it's selected, and you'll see right here, it tells you what's selected, right? So if you're like, oh, what does that mean? It'll tell you the description, exactly what it's doing. And right here it says, all right, so join the group. Anyone in the organization can join the group. So they're going to see it, right? And they're going to be able to join it automatically. So you may want to change that right now. I would not recommend using anyone on the web, because if you click that, it opens up some security things, unless it's truly like a Q&A thing or something like that. But I would recommend leaving that unchecked. Anyone in an organization, that just means it's free to join. Hey, pick Nick at valleyapps.com, join away. Only invited users, right? So the only people that can join the view this way is a very closed group. So executives at. So executives at are the only ones that can join. No one can directly add people. I, as the owner or the manager, have to invite someone to that group. Anyone can ask. This is pretty much our default on a lot of our groups here at Valley Apps, is anyone can ask. So they can see it, they can ask to join it, but the admins or the managers, the group managers, are the only ones that can approve that. All right. So actually, sorry, I got that backward. That's anyone in the organization. Now, anyone can ask, meaning anyone on the web can ask, which we don't use a lot. We use anyone in an organization can ask. So, the asking part, again, this is anyone on the web can ask. This is anyone in an organization can ask. So we'll leave that there. So then make sure that, you save and create. So let's hit create. So your basic permissions will allow users outside Magnet to perform the following actions. Post. Are you sure you want to do this? And yes, we do, because remember, we want blue at is something that other people are going to email into that aren't part of our organization. So I'm going to hit create. All right. So congratulations, you can invite people, customize your group settings, add a topic, and start posting, right? So I'm going to go ahead and invite people to join. This is actually where you can actually simply type in, Mike at valleyapps.com, right? And it will send an invite. You can write a message and it will send an invite to them. Now, that's one way to invite users. So I'm the group owner or I'm the manager and I'm inviting these people. Obviously, it's separated. So I can go Cody at, so on and so forth. And I would send an email and say, hey, I'd like you to be a part of this group. Please join it, right? Use it a lot inside of Google when we work with them. And they use it a lot because they don't want to force people to join. They want to give them the option to join, especially if it's part of their 20% time, which means they're just working on a side project. So you can also directly add. I'm going to leave that. Okay, so I can enter in Mike at Valley Apps. I want to directly add him, right? So there's no action on their part. They'll get an email, but they are part of the group. So if anyone emails blue at MikeVanderpool.com, Mike at Valley Apps is going to get it, right? Then this is also where you come through and look at your join request. So if you do have it set up, like we said, ask to join, you would see that there. You would be prompted as the admin through email, but you could see who's pending and who you want to actually allow through. So you can get in the trenches with a lot of these things, but the main thing I wanted to show you here was just double checking that your posting permissions is set to post, right? And it says anyone on the web. So if that ever changed, you could come here and change that. So this is simply your settings and your roles. So let's go okay. And when you see that, just good. So again, the roles cannot be deleted. These are roles that you're setting up. You could set up custom roles. It's just probably too much. I would leave that all alone and just worry about, actually worry, who has access, managing the members. You can pull them in and out. If someone, the way I view it is like if one of my support guys left, I could go in here and I could, manage the members, right? So I could select them and then delete them out of here and add the new person. So this is Google Groups. If you have any questions, I know it's a lot, but if you roll back the tape a little bit, walk through it, it's not too bad. Please review it. Please post any questions down below. Now, real quickly, since this was created, I'm going to go ahead and close this and show you how you get there. So again, you can go to groups.google.com, or we can go down here and we can hit groups. Once we hit groups, all right, I'm going to go to my groups. Now, groups, you'll see I set one up earlier, but you can see this is blue. So I can look at the group, and the thing about groups is if someone emails this, internal or external, because remember we set this up to have posts from the outside, I will get an email in my inbox, right? I'll get an email in my inbox if someone emails blue at MikeVanderpool.com. It will come in and it will go to all my members. That part's set up, but it will also post here. So this is just another view. It's rarely used, but if you had messages, you'd actually see this like an inbox, right? So you could actually see the messages that are coming in, although they did come into your box. This would just be an area you could review those two as a group, or anyone can come here. This is also where you would manage the group, right? So again, get to those settings we were just in. So manage group, and you can remember these. We talked about roles, permissions, posting, etc. So with that, that's Google Groups. The main takeaway is twofold. If you're able to create a group, you can do it right here. Then you need a decision about, it's actually more than twofold. You need a decision about whether people are internal emailing to it, or you want people external to domain to email to it. Then you need to email us or have your administrator set you up and set people up that you need to have to be enabled to manage and create these groups. This is a long one. Hope it wasn't too confusing. I'm Mike Vanderpool with Valley Apps. I'll see you next time.